Hey, welcome back, everybody. How are we doing today? It is 10/28/2024. It is a Monday, and we got a little bit of news, but I'm just gonna do this as a kind of an all-together video breakdown of what is gonna be happening this week in Raid. So I had some people comment on a video and say, "Hey, what teams are you using for the Demon Spawn only Fire Knight?" And I am going to show you the team I used to get this completely done. And I did use the Dragon Turn attack yesterday. I did Night Rev. Most people that have like Calvalax and Theodore the Savant, you finish that right away. It was a very easy run. Um, but I finished the Dungeon Divers event up to this point where I wanted to finish it because I just want to grab this Primal Shard. So let me show you the team I used. Now, for any of these kind of specialty tournaments, obviously, I'm not doing hard, okay? My hard team is very different from what I would need. And then on normal, I'm trying to do the most point bang for your buck for energy. And that is going to be doing stage 20, okay? And as you're looking here, this is the team I used. Honestly, I think I could just take out Candrafon and it would probably be faster. But I'll just kind of show you here. So yes, I am using Carnage. I'm using Kratraxa because, by the way, Kratraxa, one of the original OGs that was really good and meant for Fire Knight, because she has a multi-hitter 4 times on her A1. She has one attack on her, um, her A2, and essentially she gets 5 attacks in her turn because she gets an extra turn on her A2. And then for Carnage, I have him turning into Metamorph on the first wave, and then making sure he never turns back. Kind of controversial because I actually think on the boss he's probably better in Form 1 because of his triple hitter, and then, stealing turn meter and stuff like that right here. Third hit steals 100% of the turn meter, and he transfers all debuffs on his A2. So I actually think probably should keep him on that. I don't really think there's much of a damage difference. Cyssia, I just have her doing her normal AI. She'll do it fine. Candrafon, again, he's just there to help mop up what Carnage doesn't kill. And then Duchess just makes it safer, and she brings increased attack for the team. So just food for thought. And I have Kratrax in the lead because of her attack in all battles aura. So it runs it in, I want to say about a minute 30 on my computer, unlimited frames. I did it while I was at work. My recommendation is you do the same. For a more friendly version of this team, let's go to Demon Spawn and we can include Master of All. Okay, so a more friendly version of this team would probably be, let's see if I have an open slot here. I do. Let's go by, not that, let's go faction, and we'll just build it right here. It'll actually be quite a few epics in this, and affinity won't be great, but hear me out. If you have 2 allures, I would recommend using 2 allures, because even though they are the wrong affinity, they have multi-hitters on their A1. So I would go allure, allure. I would do this bad lad right here, Magnar, because he will clear the waves for you. And somebody just to probably keep him alive would be Achak. But also you want to use Gorlos Helmaw, because Gorlos brings decreased defense. Okay. And then decreased accuracy. I wouldn't want him doing the A3 on the boss. You want the double hitter to go off with Magnar with his A2. So that would be it. It would be Allure, Allure, Magnar, Achak, and Gorlos Helmaw. Okay, that, my friends, would be my epic only very friendly team. This shouldn't be hard for mid-game to end-game players, really. Hopefully, if you have a decent amount of champs. But yeah, that would be my choices there. All right, moving to the next segment. We have summoning events happening starting tomorrow. We actually have one right now. We have the summon pool event for these guys. The only person I don't have on this is going to be Theodore. I've always wanted him. I've started to learn with Raid that the champions you really want, you're never going to get when you want them. It's usually going to be when you least expect them. That's how I got Siphi. That's how I got Rotos. The Duchesses I have. Hefrak, I ended up pulling him just randomly. I was like, neat. But yeah, just, I wouldn't go for this. This is not worth it. It's $100 for, or I'm sorry, let me look here. Let's look at the prices quick. Yeah, right here, Nightmare Summon. It's $25 for, what, 3 summons? So not even 3. You get like 2 and like 95% of another one. it's not really worth it. Okay. When we look at the summon pool here, look at the meta champions. There's one meta champion, two with Ancora, but she was a fusion. And then Hefrak still sees fringe play, and so does Helicath. And I also like to point this out. Ancora was a fusion, Helicath was a fusion, and Morrigan was a fusion. Okay. Duchess is still like A plus tier, S minus tier. Noct is just really cool looking, but you don't see him play anywhere. He just puts sleeping poisons out on people and heals your team. Calvalax, that you don't know, he is actually a community design champion. He was one of the first. I think that's pretty cool. And he actually goes really well with Theodore the Savant. And Theodore the Savant, power creep really fucked this guy over with dungeons because we really don't see him used in dungeons anymore. He used to be the one to practically just solo clear Dragon 25. And it just doesn't happen. And then, yeah, Hefrak still sees some play, like I said, in Arena and the meta, but nothing crazy. Not like he used to. He used to be the go-to. Rhodos, still really amazing, to be honest. Even though with all the things that have fucked him over, like Ultimate Death Knight and our base, Rhodos still is one of the top picks in Arena. So there we are. But we do have summoning events going on. Let me pull out my little spreadsheet here. It's going to appear right on the corner right there. And it says, hey, y'all, this Tuesday, October 29th, we are planning to launch 2 simultaneous events. We're planning to launch a guaranteed champion event, and it is a Void Legendary. Isn't that amazing? But it's not really who you want. 100 Voids, 4, and I'll just show you mine. This chick here, probably one of the best looking champions in the game. I feel if you didn't hear this already, there's a collective sigh when I just pulled her up. Little Miss Annie. She's designed after the Annabelle doll, you know, with that whole thing, with, you know, that horror series that they put out in real life events. You know, you wish they were true because it lived a little mysticism in life. But she also has a Tim Burton-esque design to her. She has this beating heart in her chest. She is a doll, and she's got killer claws like Freddy Krueger and stuff. Like, those are straight up Freddy Krueger claws. Yeah, and she got this twitch going on, this golden filigree on her. Pretty neat, right? Like a Victorian possessed doll. I do not use her anywhere except for, you guessed it, Curse City in the Fire Knight stages, because she has a triple hitter on her A1, she has a double hitter on her A2, and she has a really hard hitting ability here on her A3. She did get a buff recently within this last year, but it's still not enough to get her to do anything. Sadly, champions that are squishy like her have to do like block revive or something. They have to do something permanent to be a mainstay in the meta. And she really just she doesn't see any play, maybe in Fire Knight hard, but I would doubt it. She doesn't have any freeze abilities on her, any of her kit. So I just doubt it. And I have her just in throw together gear here. But again, like I said, I do love the design of Little Miss Annie. But yeah, 100 Voids, no. Do not get that. No. You don't go for this. This is a bad investment for 100 Voids. And they're trying to bait you to with, I mean, this is really just B tier Void legendaries too. But let's start off with the non-Voids. We'll talk about the ones that are going to be from Ancients, Primals, and Sacreds starting tomorrow. And by the way, this event will last for 71 hours, so almost 3 days. The first one is going to be Stultus Dragonbane. I'll just pull mine up here. Boom. Stultus Dragonbane. You guys know him. You love him. He is actually used to help kill the dragon on hard 10. Axe of Glory attacks enemy 2 times, targets on any debuff. Each hit decreases target's turn meter by 10%. I'm not going to go through all the abilities. You can go through them yourself. He is a defense-based nuker, and he hits very hard. I was very lucky. I got a little 5-star on him. I didn't know what to put on him, so I put Intimidating Presence on him. My guy has full masteries. Oh, excuse me. It's been a long day. Sorry. And yeah, he's just in Stone Skin for the dragon dungeon, because with his passive, he reflects all weakened, decreased defense, and poison debuffs back to the attacker. And he does need accuracy for this to work. I do like Stultus. And then the next one is going to be Ragash. This is another defense nuker here. I love Ragash. I call him Shere Khan. As you can see, I've gotten 3 copies of him. I have him in Savage and I have him in Perception. His gear has not been updated. I have not set it his gear, and my Ragash could stand to do with an upgrade. I don't use him very much because, again, there's just better nukers out there. And when he first came out, he was great because defense and HP nukers are superior to attack-based nukers because they have built-in survivability, right? Their damage comes from their defenses. Well, he just kind of got power crept, and he came out in the last 2 years. But I really like him. He brings a stun, decreased defense, and he brings increased speed, strength, and imperfect veil on himself, but the other two go to the rest of the team. I really like him. I think he's very solid. The next one is another champion that we all know and love, and is probably an exception to the rule of the meta, and it is Sun Wukong. This guy was our free login legendary, thanks because Raid was able to be released into the ether in China. I do love my Sun Wukong. I have him in pretty decent gear, nothing crazy. 7.4k attack, 235 speed, decent crit damage. He's got a bit of accuracy on him. You guys know what he does. He stuns, he sheeps, and then completely wipes the team when you know, the only things that are left are Ultimate Death Knight and Stone Skin, and you can't kill the son of a bitch, and Wukong comes back and claps your ass with this A2. It's awful. But then he has his block buffs, and he steals buffs from the team. And then, like I said, every 3 turns, he pops back up with 100% HP and 100% turn meter. And if you did what everybody else did, and we all went for the soul, you end up putting polymorph on him, because that's honestly the best thing to put on him. Because you should be building him with accuracy. Boom, bringing him down, Helm Smasher. Wukong, definitely S tier nuker in the meta. Next one's going to be a guy that is seeing more play, and that is going to be Godfred Brassclad. I only use him again for Curse City. Hey, how are you? Say it like always. Say the line, Bart. And I don't have him in very good gear, and I don't have him booked out, and I don't have masteries on him, but this guy is actually very good. I see a lot of people using him as an alternative option to, I would argue he's better than Freya. People are using him instead of Nekret, all these other guys. He brings increased defense, and he cleanses, weaken, and decrease defense on your team. He brings a stun that's AoE that's 100% chance when you book it. And he brings in a provoke and a decreased defense on his A1. But what he's known for Arena is this right here. Brassclad passive. He will stun people, and he will put block damage on somebody that's about to die. And he has a 100% chance when booked to place a stun on the attacker that would do that. And if an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, blocks incoming damage and places block damage on them for a turn. So, there you are. So yeah, anybody that has block damage on your team that's placed by him, he will put a stun on the attacker. So he's pretty great. You build him in Stone Skin, you build him with accuracy, you book him out, you have a great time. I love him. I don't use him, but I love him. One I don't have, and we'll have to go to the index for. The next one is going to be, and I actually wouldn't mind him, he'd just be fun to have, it's Samson the Crusher. Alright, Mr. Gorilla Man. Mr. Monkey Fist Boy. You know the guy, he's very annoying in Curse City and Doom Tower. He brings a stun, he brings decreased attack, and he puts removes all increased defense from the enemy team and then smacks the shit out of them. And then he brings increased accuracy and crit damage on himself and gives himself an extra turn. Bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your mom. Samson the Masher. You love him, but you hate him. Every time I see him in hard Curse City, I get very upset. And then let's talk about the Void Legendaries. I only have one of them, but I don't recommend pulling the 100 Voids and using this, this event to try and boost your chances of getting another one. But this one actually is a very solid champion. It's Tumezia. She's really amazing in Hydra. She brings in stun, decreased speed, and HP burn. The stun won't be placed, so she'll place a decreased speed on the boss and put HP burn on him. Tumezia's ability does go through Poison Cloud. Yes, it places it first, not on hit. So right here it just says attacks all enemies and then chance of placing. So it's not conditional on the hit. Okay. And then this doesn't matter for the decreasing the turn meter, but this is where she gets her big damage. Because for each instance of HP burn on the enemy, she gets an increase to damage on this A3. And this 40% for each active HP burn debuff. This stacks up to 400%. So what a lot of people were doing for a while on Spider 25, they were using her because she would get this big damage buff. And then she would just come in there and slap the shit out of the Spider. But I can tell you personally, right now, she definitely does this against the Hydra. The Hydra takes shit tons of damage because of this. She's really good to be run with like a debuff duration increaser, like Loki, which we all got. Loki does that on his A1. And then her passive, yeah, just if somebody tries to freeze one of your guys, you have a 50% chance of swapping it for an HP burn. So people were actually using her to speed farm the Frost Spider. So fun times there. The other Void Legendary I do not have, but I do not care to get. And it's just because he's fallen out of favor. He used to be a real big go-to Void Legendary for Arena, and it's soulless, okay? He's a defense-based damage dealer. He has Stun, he's got Provoke, and then he's got Provoke again. And he has an Aura for defense and Faction Crypts, so nothing really. I think he needs a rework. He definitely needs a buff. I think almost all legendaries that haven't got a rework or a buff definitely probably need it. And Braid has told us that that's what they are doing. So there you go. I still wouldn't go for Solus, and honestly I wouldn't go for Annie either. But it's all Halloween themed. A lot of people were hoping that they were going to do Narcissus again for a guaranteed void. For I think his was like 110. And I remember I bought voids for it because this guy is amazing. I use him every day in arena and live arena. He's just bonkers. But yeah, there you go. And then let's look at the epics for this. The epics, again, yeah, they're nothing really to stick at. The first one is Burungiri. Let's see here. He is right around here somewhere. Burungiri, I have this guy maxed, like empowered and everything. He's just fun. He's got Provoke, he's got AoE Stun, he's got Strengthen and Shield, and he has a heal. You can use him now to solo Bommel. In the beginning, you could up to, I think, like 90 Bommel, and then you couldn't anymore, but I think with the empowerment and the blessings, excuse me, you definitely can now. I think you definitely can. Next one is a fan favorite. And really, power creep really hasn't hurt this guy really much at all, except for the introduction of Stag Knight. But this guy is going to be Tayrel. Tayrel, login champion for some people, or a promo code champion that you could have got. Brings decreased defense, sleep if they already have decreased attack. He brings a really hard-hitting A3, and then he brings decreased attack on his A1. I love Tayrel. A lot of people, when you're starting out in the game, this is the guy that you go to for clan boss teams, okay? Armina. Where is Armina? Is she a Knight Revenant person? No. Where is Armina? Dead? Don't think so. Well, this is embarrassing. She's not this. Allure, no. Oh, I'm sorry, Armina. It's another decrease defense champion. And she brings stun and turn meter manipulation. A lot of people are using her still for faction wars. And a lot of people are trying to use her in, clan boss if you're starting out. She's just a solid pick. Wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers. And then we have Tuhawk the Wanderer. Tuhawk. Is it no, it's not Barbarians. Tuhawk the Wanderer. Where is Tuhawk the Wanderer? Nope. Thought it was definitely going to be there. It's not Shadowkin, is it? Where are you? Nope. Man, I just realized dwarves have a lot of void epics. It's not here, right? Ostrich. No, yeah, they only have 2. They just had. No. Where am I missing this? Is it here? Yes, okay, I'm sorry. Tuhawk the Wanderer was used in Arena for quite a while, but not so much anymore. He's really just been power crap. Nothing really much to say there. He's an attack-based damage dealer, and he hits fairly hard. 6 the Stripe Hide. This guy was part of a fusion. He is a lizard person. And he actually hits pretty hard. And if you didn't go for the fusion at the time, a lot of people picked up copies of him and just empowered him because he does hit pretty damn hard. So yeah, there you go. It's going to be about it for me, guys. I know there's a lot of events coming up for Halloween. I personally don't want you to suffer from FOMO, so don't go for it. Honestly, save your resources like I am. I was tempted to pull yesterday the 5 Sacreds I had and the Voids because I wanted to get that frame for my picture, but you had to tell yourself it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. I've been burned by Raid here recently. 35 primals and Vagu, nothing. All right. So keep it close to your chest. Honestly, I think you should just do the Fire Knight tournament. Heads up, we're doing Sand Devils tomorrow, so you're gonna get a free summon out of that. But if you were able to today, finish up to get that Primal Shard. That'd just be my recommendation. That's about it. And just, you know, keep pushing forward, because really Hansel and Gretel are not looking like they're going to be worth getting. Really. Truly. I love you guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.